So, to briefly recap, in fulfilling the second part of the assignment you were given, you went to this other site that the mage basically told you that, there was some arcane research here, there were some maybe alchemical recipes that he could use. You found this basically submerged tomb-like laboratory with then there were some traps you had to deal with. There were these lizard bug things called Kruthiks that you dealt with, and in the end, you worked through the puzzles to open the door to what appeared to be the sanctum area. And within it, there was an individual already there, a female drow, a dark elf, who appeared to be looting the place. I'm
asking what dice Rebecca needs.
Oh, okay. And as she noticed you, she turned to everyone, and when she saw Cass, she got very confused and said the word Zay. And that is where we left off, and where we find ourselves. What do you do?
Look at all the books, friends!
Oh, thank God.
I can't read. Who's gonna read for me?
Never cared about books.
Zergo, read me a story, would you?
My eyes with a rake.
You see that she's she's hearing you, but all of her attention is focused on Cass at the moment.
You're just kind of standing there like, oh, excuse me, what the fuck?
And she's,
who is this woman?
she takes like a tentative step or two forward, and she says, "Zay, that they told me you were dead. I don't understand."
We're gonna take like a half step back and be
Gerald looks at Cass. You died? What was it like? Tell me. Tell me what it was like. I want to know.
I didn't die! Shut up!
Oh, okay. Gerald walks over to the drow. It appears you have the wrong person. This is my friend.
Gerald.
Crass.
No!
She like, she is sort of like, she's trying to focus on Cass, and she's sort of like wincing at this extremely loud and in her face man, and she sort of like holds out a hand, says like, "Not now. We're busy."
Gerald grabs her hand and shakes it. Yes, it's very good to meet you. Thank you for the extension of your friendship.
Gerald, please leave her alone. Go find a picture book or something.
Do they have picture books here?
They might. It's a pretty big library.
Whee!
So I'm gonna say Gerald starts looking through the books that are still on the shelves.
Can I do a perception check for picture books?
We'll get back to you in a moment.
Okay.
Meanwhile,
I don't. You knew Zay?
You look just like
It's a long story. It's a long story. I knew her very well. But I'm not Zay.
All right. Well, I met her. It was years. I mean, it was years ago. It's my story is a bit. It's how long would you? My story is slightly long, but I mean, I can go first if you like.
Mine's pretty quick, but you go first. You're the one that knew her longer, I guess.
Well, it's quite simply, it was a while back. I had a home in Patriel, and there was one night where I was woken up by a strange sound, and I went downstairs, and there was a girl with blonde hair and a blue feathered hair clip, and she was throwing whatever valuables she could fit into a bag. And of course, I announced my presence, nearly startled her to death. In my momentary anger, I asked her to give me one good reason I shouldn't call the guards right then and there. And I still remember her response. She said that I should have been flattered that she liked my house enough to steal from it. And I actually laughed involuntarily at that point because I was so surprised at her boldness. That said, it was enough to dissuade me from my initial knee-jerk reaction, and after that I found myself striking up a conversation, and before long, we were spending time together. I was getting to know her, and
how long ago was this?
Years. She was very, a teenager at the time.
Explains a lot.
I found that she had been living on the streets for some time due to circumstances. And while she was resourceful and eking out a living, one thing that she found a challenge was high society. She didn't have the experience to deal with, staking out classy parties or whatnot. She had trouble with that, and I took it upon myself to tutor her into how to basically make her way through that terrain. And we grew very close over the years until one day she grew up, she moved out on her own, and I didn't hear from her since until I heard of her death.
Well, you could say she continued your tradition on to me. As the reason why I look so much like her. That's a story in and of itself, but we'll say when she died, I went through some interesting trauma. I was also a kid on the streets, and she was the one that took me in just before I died, and taught me everything she knows. So you could say I'm kind of a low-experience miniature copy of her.
Alright. While this is going on, Gerald, just make a perception. It would be an investigation check to look through the bookshelves.
Alright. I got a 3.
There's a lot of books, and you're like, pick one up and like start flipping through it, and there's so many words.
Sorry. Can I rage?
I mean, that's not gonna last long out of combat.
I rage.
Right.
So mad there aren't any picture books.
Okay, I rage, and I'm gonna roll advantage on the books. I'm gonna do what's the word? A reckless attack on the books.
Just roll an attack.
Oh shit, where'd that go? Where's the other one? Oh, where'd you go, buddy? So we have a nat 20 and a 12.
What? Yeah, you collapse the bookshelf, and books go everywhere, and like the drow like looks back and is like, what is going on back there?
Gerald takes a deep breath as the rage subsides. No picture books.
Give the most sarcastic slow clap imaginable.
Oh my god.
Shava's furious.
Yeah, about that, Shava, how are you doing right now?
Shava was losing the bookshelves herself, looking for magic books, and now she's furious at Gerald.
I mean, there are some errant books here and there, but like some of them, not all of them were destroyed, but there's some damage. I'm more curious about So you've had a history of not doing well with half elves. How are you with drow?
She's an elf. She's fine.
Okay, because here's the thing. Elves tend not to like drow. Like, even more so than half elves. Drow, just for some perspective on you know of drow, of course. All elves do. They tend to live underground. Their society is very matriarchal, and most of them serve well, you might not know that, but their society tends to be very backstabbing and treacherous, and that tends to be a stereotype that goes around a lot of elven society.
I see.
So that's something.
So they're matriarchal and have hot ladies.
Okay, so maybe Shava is surprisingly more okay with drow than most elves.
Shava approves.
Again, why I posted the picture.
Yep.
Very
Well, I'm
great
Like
line.
her because she's gay, alright?
Anyway, the drow, still talking to you, Cass, is like, if you don't mind me asking your name in that case, if you're not Zay, I still don't understand why you look like her, but perhaps that story can wait for another day.
My name's Cassiro, but you can just call me Cass.
Cass, my name is Anastriana. You can call me Anna. Anna is fine.
Okay.
So, I suppose a good question would be, what brings all of you here?
Picture books.
A job brings us here.
So, a little more we have in common then.
Shava's gonna look for a picture book so she can throw it at Gerald.
Make an investigation check.
Done. I gotta go over. Here we go.
Roll it good, please.
I have +6 to investigation, so it's probably
It's a what?
that's a 16 +6.
What? What was it?
What?
Let's say it again.
I said I roll a 19 +6, so
Oh,
25.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
God.
find a very interesting book that the title is actually in Infernal, and as you flip through it, it appears to be a basic guide to various types of fiends. There are plenty of pictures of many different devils and demons of various descriptions.
I point to one and say, "Hey, Gerald, looks like you."
Oh, he could be my brother.
It's like if you're trying to paint a comparison to Lawrence, there's actually a little there, the lankiness, the sort of shifty expression, the Batwing you've probably imagined on him quite a few times.
Yes, I'd say that's an exact painting of him right there. Almost a remarkably astounding resemblance.
I just look at the picture and look at him and be like, "You have an interesting family."
Yes, I think I'll take this book, mainly for that picture, so I can look at it and smile every night before I go to sleep.
You have an interesting family.
Oh no, they're no family of mine, not anymore.
No, I suppose that's okay then.
By the way, Shava, you're starting to feel an odd sensation from your belongings.
Gerald behind her, spiders crawling down your back.
You feel what feels like warm, some sort of warm aura emanating from your possessions. From
An orb
yeah,
from
so
my possession.
just heat coming from where the pack where you store your stuff. Something in it in particular.
Alright, do I have to roll an investigation check to find it, or do I just find it?
No, you as you look in, you see that it is the book that was enhanced recently by your friend, shall we say.
Gerald?
The book that Gerald somehow managed to read.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
Wasn't me.
I mean, I wouldn't call what he did reading it.
And it's emanating heat, almost like it's trying to get your attention.
Shava smiles and gleefully grabs it.
Do you do anything with it, or?
I open it, of course.
All that you see that there's a new there's more writing has appeared in it that wasn't there before, and it's just one sentence that says, "There is knowledge here."
Thanks.
Really?
Shava smiles like she hasn't smiled before.
There's a lot of books. I never would have guessed.
Well, it seems to be trying to point that out specifically to Shava, like it maybe has more significance to her.
Gerald flipping through the book. Hey, Zergo! This one kind of looks like you!
I mean, I'd slap you, but I just kind of expect this asinine behavior from you at this point.
Do you want to share my picture book, Zergo?
No, I don't.
Okay, more pictures for me then.
Well,
Shava starts catalyzing all the books, mentally cataloging all the books so they can and try to figure out which one the book's referring to.
Make an intelligence check.
I have keen mind. I can remember everything.
And that's true. I mean,
one of the things is keen mind is literally remember everything that happened in the past month.
yeah,
Shovel will remember that.
Yep, exactly. I mean, it doesn't necessarily seem like the sentence is referring to anything in particular. It seems to be a very general statement, and you remember that what was requested of you was basically as much knowledge as possible.
Shava just immediately grabs a book and starts reading.
Alright,
History book. I'll specify that.
alright, you can find something about that just gives you a general rundown of some of the world and its peoples. It doesn't go into a lot of detail, but it tells you some general things about the various continents. I'll send you that information later, so because I don't want to bring everything to a halt right now.
Well,
Gerald's gonna go up to the drow.
What was that, RJ?
The aneurysm.
Oh.
And we're back. Okay, anyway, it was doing the techno garble.
Okay.
Gerald's gonna go up to the drow.
Mm-hmm.
Why, hello there, lady that Chava probably has a crush on. Could you read me this?
Excuse. That was a lot just now. Read what exactly?
Hands her the picture book about infernals.
I'm afraid I don't speak this language. And at any rate, I'm afraid I can't stay too long. I am on assignment. I forgot to mention about her appearance. She's wearing robes, which seems to be of the wizardly variety. They're dark robes, black even, and the main feature they have is that they have purple trim, and they have a symbol on the sort of on the shoulders that is like a stylized eye within a circle, also in purple.
Weird. So before you go,
Shava's still reading books.
Okay. Yes?
it would probably be smart for both of us to stay in contact. Is there any town you're usually in, or?
Well, I'm a bit of travel right now, but this is the last stop I was going to make. I intend to head to. There's a town nearby, Riverbend, that I'm planning to stay in for a while. While I wait for my next orders. I suppose.
We're actually heading back there.
Oh,
Perhaps we'll see each other again.
it's very possible. I plan to stay at the Master Plan Inn. I hear it's quiet, which is something I need.
I see.
It's definitely not the one we're staying in.
Yeah, like several.
I like the one we're staying in.
Several nights of
Reason it's not quiet.
several nights of raucous gambling, like trying to sleep while you hear the sounds of partying from below go through your head.
Everyone trying to sleep while Gerald's yelling and punching people.
Yep.
Shava blows up the bar.
Well then.
Killed the bartender too. I forgot about that.
I mean,
right.
that was back in Patriel. That hasn't followed you here, thankfully.
Oh yeah.
It'll catch up with us eventually, I'm sure of it. We sort of burned a farmstead.
You
It's
did.
this week, Kimasabe.
She says, well, I should be going. I'm sure you have matters to attend to here.
Yeah. See you again, I suppose.
Shava, you feel your book does the thing again where it glows and radiates heat, and another sentence appears that says, she is taking knowledge.
I immediately run after her and tackle her.
But you can't tackle her.
We can try.
Make an athletics check.
Athletics check. I can at least that. Hold on. Whoops. What happened? Okay, here we go. I can at least impact her. 19!
Okay. Gerald, and the rest of you watch as Shava just like bolts and tackles Anna, and they both like crash to the ground, and she's like, "What are you doing?"
Wait, Java, are we going with that plan? We're doing that plan? Okay, we're doing that plan. Gerald dogpiles on her.
What the hell, guys?
Gerald is going to dogpile on her with Shava.
Off of
Oh my
me.
god.
I wish I had some popcorn.
Yeah, I'm just gonna watch.
Can you maybe not?
Does she have, like, any, hack or anything?
One moment. I'm looking through here. One second. Yeah, she will hold out a hand towards you and one moment while I roll some dice.
Is somebody gonna get fireballed?
And while I do this, Shava and Gerald, I'd just like you to tell me, how many hit points do you have right now?
I have 39.
Alright.
Do we still have the damage from the fight?
Yes, you do.
23.
23. Let's see.
Okay.
Alright. She emits a blast of light from her hand. It doesn't do any damage, but, Shava, you are blinded momentarily by this. You just get this flash. You basically get flashbanged, and she
Solar flare.
and she'll attempt to get out from under you.
Gerald's gonna hold her
Gerald?
down. I'm sorry, lady. I have no idea what's going down, but apparently we're doing that plan, which is the plan I never wanted to do because I'm supposed to be the one who runs in and tackles you. But hey, here we are.
All right. I mean, you're pulling it off. She's not very strong, and she's like, "May I ask why you've decided to tackle me?"
Well, Shava is my full
Not
confidant
you.
and friend, so when she does something, I just kind of do it.
I'm asking her.
Shava's still blind, just blinking at the light out of her eyes.
I mean, it fades pretty quickly.
She's like, looks at her annoyed, and then just doesn't answer and looks at her pack.
Shava, just use your words, sweetheart.
Book.
Oh my fucking god.
Oh, God. Now she's even worse at talking than Gerald.
I have an excellent vocabulary. I like books.
Shava gets really, Shava gets tunnel visions for certain things.
Let's see here. Yeah, all right.
No vision.
At this point, she will hold out her hand, and suddenly everything around you just goes dark.
Does she just have darkness?
Yeah, I mean, Shava, you recently learned this spell, so you recognize its effect. There is a massive cloud of darkness at the moment.
Doesn't work on me.
Doesn't work on you? Why not?
It does, but I still remember where everything is.
I mean, that's true. Well,
I don't remember where she is, but I remember my surroundings, so I could probably follow her.
let me look up Keen Mind real quick.
I know where. I remember it.
Okay.
I remember everything from the
She
past
still
month.
has a
Perfect plan.
Gerald on top of her.
Track time. Yeah, it says track direction. Yeah, you can.
A
Always know.
blind Gerald.
Well, you always know which way is north.
Which means I know every direction if I know which way is north.
I would say that more pertains to like travel, and I mean you have a general sense of it. Like knowing which way is north helps you when you're going a long distance. It's not necessarily you don't necessarily have a photographic. I mean,
That's essentially what
that's
we'll call anything with the past month with perfect clarity means.
okay. Fair enough. I won't give you disadvantage on checks for this then. But
Doesn't anyone get disadvantage for this?
well, I'm trying. This is weird. Honestly, I'm trying to figure.
I did this purposely. I figured that I could, memorize my surroundings and use
Yeah.
darkness myself to figure it out.
Yeah, I'll let that happen. Basically, everyone else if they were trying to find something within the darkness would have disadvantage, but you will not.
Is this like a darkness where even people who have dark vision can't see?
Yeah, it's magical darkness.
Oh, okay, got it.
I was just gonna ask.
Yeah, that's the point of the spell. Basically, it's nothing. I mean, she can't see either, but neither can you.
But also she still has a Gerald on top of her.
But with the added confusion of the darkness, she's going to make another attempt to escape.
Gerald's not moving anywhere. He's just gonna lay where he is.
Oh, my dice are not cooperating, so that'll. Well then, she says that. She says, "Well then."
Gerald's just sitting there. I don't know what's going on, but I know I weigh a lot.
Just try not to struggle too much, and maybe we can work this out without hurting her?
Shava just goes for the pack and starts rummaging through it.
Alright.
Now she's a highway robber.
Make an investigation check.
Alright. That's right. 15 plus 6, so 21.
All right, yeah, you start removing scrolls, books, and the like from her pack, and you hear her like, are you going through my things?
I don't know what's going on. I can't see.
You have something I need.
I need it as well.
I just need to read it. I don't need to actually use it.
I need love and attention.
Good for you, Gerald.
Well, I mean, it's going to be hard to read within this.
Well, you're the one that cast it, so uncast it.
Again, just work with my friends here, and you won't get hurt.
Make a persuasion check. Since Cass said that
You held her down.
Yes,
Took something of hers. And I'm now saying, hey, get rid of your magic so I can keep fucking with you.
Yeah, and since Cass said that, I'll give you advantage on the persuasion check, Shava.
Alright. Oh, it was me? Okay.
Yeah.
Persuasion, where is that? There it is. Thought that would be higher. I got a 2. Plus 3 is 5.
Wait, you have advantage, so roll again.
Oh, I did. Yeah, that's right. I didn't get it.
You're
I got
welcome.
Not 20!
Okay.
You're fucking welcome.
One second. I need to work something out. One sec.
D&D Beyond is not cooperating.
Oh, okay. Alright. The internet lied to me. It should be fine now.
Refresh your page.
Yeah. I'll explain that later after the session. I know what happened.
Alright, it's good.
Fair enough. Alright, where were we? Yes. So with the natural 20, she will dismiss the darkness, and you're back to what it was before. It says, I would ask both of you to get off of me, and then maybe we can talk about this.
But I
was
can't get him off my back.
Huh?
I said I can't get him off me, so he has to move. So,
Gerald, get your ass up.
He says this while just reading some of the scrolls and books.
Gerald gets up holding Shava by her ankle upside down. You know, the next time we go with that plan, you should let me lead.
Shava's still just reading the scroll she happened to have in her hand.
Alright. I mean, a lot of it is like arcane theory type stuff. There's not a lot that jumps out to you, but there is one book that is written in common, although it's stylized to sort of bear the appearance of the runes of the Infernal and Abyssal language. And the title reads The Blood War.
What's that smell?
That one.
It's blood!
Like the bloodsuckers we ran into.
And she says, I was here to... That was the main thing I was sent here to retrieve. I'll need that.
You can have it after I read it.
It's a pretty thick tome. And she says, since you got a nat 20, I'll say, she says, tell you what, like I said, I'm going to Riverbend. Apparently you also are going to Riverbend. I will let you borrow it there. Is that acceptable?
I look down at my personal book.
It doesn't seem to respond.
Very well.
She dusts herself off.
Can I have sweetbread?
Do you say this?
Yes, that's what Gerald says to her.
Yeah, she like shakes her head and blinks and is like, "What?"
Yeah, you know the sweetbread with the sugar coating on the top and the little sugary swirl in the middle. Can I have that, please?
What are you talking about? Why would you think I have? Never mind.
Gerald, just stop.
Her sweetbread is mine.
Oh.
And she turns to you, Cass, and she says, "Come by and sometime when you're in town, and we can talk more. I'd appreciate it if the contact with them was kept to a minimum, though.
If you want, I can come get the book from you.
That would be lovely."
Okay.
And she, very, very confused and more than a little annoyed, she will depart the chamber.
Well, she seems nice.
Don't give me a look, Shava. I'll let you do science shit to me if you let me get your book for you.
Hey, Cass, can I come with?
Well, considering she didn't have a poor experience with you, I suppose. Why?
I could transform into a snake. I just don't exactly trust people that easily. It's always good to have another hand.
Okay. Yeah, probably be smart. Considering...
Babysitting duty for these two.
Don't
Considering
worry,
the
I
person-
can turn into a Gerald.
I could turn into Gerald, too.
What?
I'm just...
Do it.
I can turn into Gerald as well.
Do it.
No.
Do it, both of you. Gerald.
I think
Why?
Do I really need to prove a point?
I think Ivy said
Just set up.
Everyone who can turn into Gerald, turn into Gerald.
Fine,
Bring me
Jesus
great
Christ, I'll turn
joy.
into Gerald. So just turn into Gerald.
Away.
Okay, so so Cass metakes on the appearance of Gerald, still wearing her clothes, and meanwhile-
Wait. I'll also... Oh, never mind. I'm not going to waste a spell slot for it. Never mind.
Okay. And at the same time, Ivy, you morph into a large black horse that resembles the one that you procured recently.
Happy now.
Shava has the hat. She should turn into Gerald.
Oh, I forgot about that, yeah. Shava, just to humor him, turns into Gerald, so shut up.
Zergo, you're in a living hell.
Walked away. The second he started badgering, I was like, and I'm out. I'm out.
Gerald starts skipping around until he passes out from joy.
What the fuck? But at least now he's quiet.
Wait, we need to have Zergo
Zergo,
back.
you can come back.
Zergo needs to carry him. Zergo, you need to carry him. We can't carry him.
You problem. You knocked him out. You deal with him.
Well,
Wait, Ivy's a horse, right? We can put her on her.
I am a horse, but I'm a very weak horse, remember?
Everyone else hears.
We could just take a long rest.
Technically, it is still the afternoon, and I actually didn't realize this rule at the time, but you can only take one long rest every 24 hours.
Okay.
So that's to prevent people from cheesing at every encounter with a long rest.
Shava, get out your decanter with the water in it and just splash him awake.
Alright.
I'm very much about this.
Alright, what are the words again? That's true. Geyser! I don't remember the rest of them. Geyser.
One moment. I love this.
Well, Shava does remember the rest of them, but I don't care.
Yeah, so... okay, I don't know if you can make strength saving throws while you're unconscious.
When you're unconscious.
Huh?
When you're unconscious.
Yeah. Shava, roll 1d4 damage.
Alright. 1d4. I got a 1.
Alright. Gerald, you take 1 point of bludgeoning damage as you are basically waterboarded awake.
What? What happened? I had a lovely dream. Everyone was Gerald except for Zergo.
Yes, Gerald, it was a dream.
I liked it.
Good.
It's never becoming a reality. Let's go.
Alright, what do you guys do?
I guess we go back to the wizard. Did we get the thingy?
Yeah,
Well, you
and our ridiculous amount of payment.
I mean, you got, what you got was essentially, you got a book. You didn't actively search for the thing he asked you to, though.
Oh, we need to
let's
look for that
Look
then.
for that.
Yeah.
Zergo,
Gotta
get
look
back
for it.
here!
Someone,
Gerald looks for the thing.
yeah,
If
just,
you want to get paid, you gotta help us look.
just someone make an investigation check. And since you're
Oh,
all
okay.
looking, you can make it with advantage.
I got a 19.
I got a 19 plus 2.
Yeah, easy enough. It takes you like 5 minutes, but you.
I got a 19.
It only takes you 5 minutes to find what appears to be the alchemical recipe, a scroll containing the alchemical recipe for a potion of fire breath, which was what you were sent to procure.
Okay, Gerald will take it, and we'll head back to the wizard.
All right, what are you doing with Tic Tac?
Oh yeah, Tic Tac. When we get back
Put
to
him
Tic,
on me.
we get him back to Tic Tac. Gerald will put him on his other shoulder.
On me. I'm still a horse.
You're weak.
Another question though: how are you getting out?
The rope that we used to get in.
That's right. You did have a rope. Ivy, are you turning back into yourself to climb up the rope?
I probably should turn back.
Because the thing
So-
about horses, they don't have opposable thumbs.
Yeah, nobody
Don't
can really lift me up, so I'm gonna transform back.
Gerald could do it.
No.
All right. Since you do have a rope there, so you do get out easily with Tic Tac. What are you doing with him? Are you just going back to town with him, or what?
Well, what does Tic Tac want to do?
Well,
Alright, I'll be right back. Food's here.
Mascot!
Truth be told, I don't know quite how I feel about all this field work. I mean, it was nice at first, but you have to risk your life a lot. I don't know.
Yep.
Do you want to go meet the wizard, Tic Tac?
Run far away.
I mean, I've never been a fan of magic myself, but as you remember, the first time you met him, he was arguing with what appeared to be a kobold sorcerer.
Oh yeah, that's probably not a good place. Well, I'm sure we'll find some place for you.
Very well. Let's go.
Away!
All right. It takes you mostly the rest of the day, and you're pushing evening when you see it.
As we're walking along, Gerald nudges Ivy.
What?
Could you do me a favor? Could you talk to Gerald too?
What do you need out of him?
I want to know how he feels.
Well, oh,
Oh.
I'm not gonna waste a spell on. I already turned into Gerald too. Isn't that good enough?
That was all a dream. That wasn't real.
Oh, right. I mean, didn't you see Gerald too in your dream before? Did you ask him?
I did.
Wait, DM, I forget. Can Shava? Does Shava have animal speak?
I think Shava, I believe, can speak. I think you can speak to your familiar.
I know that. I thought she could speak to animals too. I couldn't remember.
I don't think so.
Where would I look for that?
Features and traits, I would think. You have comprehend languages, but that's like actual languages. No, I don't think you can. I don't think you have animal speech.
Okay.
It's more of a druid thing.
I didn't know if it was an elf thing.
Yeah, no, not really. There's a race called furbolgs that can do that, but they're
Is it like kobolds but furry?
Actually no, they're giant kin.
Oh.
Oh.
Giant furries?
Sigh.
Maybe I'll play one of those and I'll call it Night Wolf.
I hate you.
Join the club.
Alright, so you make it back to town, and at this point I'd like to give all of you something that I whipped up.
Oh man, go to the
Cake?
Hangox channel.
Just for your convenience. It's a bit rudimentary, but it should get the job done.
A map.
Bam.
Is it going to be a map? Yeah, it's a map.
Hey.
Oh.
You guys can feel free to download that.
No, I can just look at it from here.
It's fair.
Jim's farm.
All right.
Yes, the site of Joe being an asshole number 855.
All right. So you guys get back to the.
Oh, that temple. I wonder how that sign's doing.
Probably fine.
Alright, so we go back to the wizard.
The Weezer.
The
All right.
wizard.
Uh,
Man produced fire from hand? Magic?
All right. You return to Amaril's tower, and when you reach the top, you see he's there, sitting in a chair, and basically rocking, and he's sort of dozing off a little.
Gerald walks up to him. Hello?
And says, "Did you bring Tic Tac with you, by the way?"
Yes.
Okay. He wakes up and he says, "Oh, you've returned. Is that a kobold with you?"
No.
Maybe.
He's a very special boy.
Oh my god.
Very well. Did you bring the things?
Yes.
I did. And I brought extra.
Gerald didn't drop it.
All right. You hand over the dragon components and the recipe, and he says, "Excellent, most excellent. This should be plenty." The reward we discussed. One moment. He goes over to his shelves and pulls down a chest and brings it over and puts it down on the table and says, "You'll find the payment within, as we discussed, 1,000 platinum. I hope it's sufficient."
Yes. Gerald opens it.
It is, in fact, full to the brim with sparkling platinum coins.
So it's 1,000. So is that what? That 250 per person?
Should be 200 per person. I would.
Oh, by 200 per person. My bad. Numbers.
Tries to remember where my currency is again.
And as a reminder,
There it is.
one platinum is worth 10 gold.
So instead, could I just put it all as gold instead of platinum?
I mean, you can. It's mostly to mark specifically what you're carrying.
Okay. I mean, I'll put 200 platinum in there, but it's 2,000 gold.
Yeah, it's worth that essentially.
Okay.
Gold is sort of the standard. And he says, the other part of our deal was a dose of the potion. I'll be busy mixing it up tonight, but if you come by tomorrow, I'll have some ready for you.
I have a question for you, wizard man.
Yes?
What can you do with these? Gerald drops the dragon parts on the table.
Interesting. I would have to do some experiments. this might be sufficient for some rudimentary enchantments. I would have to
Really?
I'd have to run some tests. See.
There's a small twinkle in Gerald's eye.
Now, I wouldn't get too excited. If you're looking to something like having a weapon that erupts in flames, I suspect many more materials would be required for such a thing.
How many more?
You just want dragon leather?
Well, I mean, not only would it need to be, this is small. It would need to be from a larger drake, I imagine.
No one tell him.
How much do I need to kill?
I will run some tests. I will let you know in the morning. And he will take the dragon bits from you if you let him.
Yeah, I'll let him take them.
All right. Do you guys have anything else to do with him, or are you done?
I'll talk to him. I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
Do you know anybody who would need a genius boy? He holds up Tic Tac.
And he looks a little confused. He's like, well, there's he thinks about it for a moment. And he says, well, I'm not sure who would put up with the kobold, to be honest. If it's anyone, it would probably be that gnome, that eccentric gnome in town.
Eccentric gnome. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'll go there.
Believe his name was Tim Topple.
I'll talk to him. See ya later.
All right. Oh boy, having to go through a lot of voices tonight. By the way, Shava, if you recall, you had placed an order that would be arriving in a few days before you left town with the Ember Emporium.
Yep, I remember.
All right, just making sure. Do any others of you have stuff you wanted to get done?
Take Tic Tac to the gnome and go look for weapons.
Okay. Anyone else?
Is my order in yet or no?
Well, it's been a few days. You would have to check.
All right, I'll have to check on that then after we drop Tic Tac off.
All right. I guess you'll go to the gnome first then. You return to the shop. It's called Tim's Antiques, and you open the door to once again see the stacks of odd trinkets here and there.
Gerald never went. He was with the cow the entire time.
Oh, I was mostly referring to the. Well, are you being accompanied by everyone, or are you on your own?
Well, I guess Shava's coming and Tic Tac's coming. I don't know who else is coming.
I feel like we're all going to mostly be coming.
All right.
I guess so, yeah.
All right. So in that case, yeah, the people who were there before recognize it.
I'm just kind of privately mulling over.
And,
so I'll just follow around.
And there's no sign of the gnome at first, but there is a small bell on a counter.
Gerald flicks it.
Ding ding, and then some of the trinkets go flying as the gnome sits up from beneath them. It appears that he was sleeping.
And
he says,
"Hello there, little man.
What?
I was wondering if you needed help."
Well, there's quite a lot in here. I'm thinking about taking on an assistant.
How about this beautiful boy?
And Tic Tac, Tic Tac's eyes are like discs. He's got like the anime style like open mouthed expression as he's looking around at this treasure trove of junk.
Tic Tac, did you bring your bag of goods?
I can go get it. and the gnome looks down and says, interesting. And what might your name be? And it's Tick. I think I'm mixing up their voices. I need to go back and listen to the voices I gave to the two of them. So, but I'll do that later. It says, I'm a humble kobold inventor. Happy to render services. And it says, and the gnome says, I think I can find a place for you. And, yeah, to make a long story short, Tic Tac will retrieve his things and will set up shop with Tim Topple the gnome in his shop.
As Tic Tac runs out, Gerald wipes a small tear from his eye. They grow up so fast.
What a happy ending.
Yeah, so we'll see what comes out of that.
You build a weapon of mass destruction.
Yeah, right. I'm sure
Yeah, we leave and come back, and the entire town is just a crater.
Meanwhile, after Shava, did you want to check on your order?
Yes.
All right, you head back to the Ember Emporium, and Tangent is behind the counter as usual, and he says, yes, you've been waiting for this, I imagine," and he procures a scroll, and he will hand it to you. I believe you paid up front?
Yes, I did.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right, then, in that case, yes, he will hand you a scroll of Tensor's floating disc.
Shava smiles and immediately adds it to the ritual book.
Okay, it'll take you 2 hours and, I believe, 50 gold worth of parchment to do that.
That's right, yeah, I forgot about the payment. I remember the 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going anywhere else?
Well, Gerald's gonna look around the store, because he's got Dosh.
Alright.
Gosh.
Let's see here. There's a few things. There's the leather armor from before. There's the battle axe. There's ammunition and potions. There's the deck of illusions. There's the bracers of defense, and there's the bag of holding.
What's the deck of illusion do?
It's a deck of cards that essentially you can draw a card from it to produce a random illusion of some creature. And there's basically a bunch of different outcomes based on the card you draw.
And is it limited use?
I don't believe so. Let me look real quick. Set of parchment cards. It has 34 cards. The magic only functions if cards are drawn at random. An illusion of one or more creatures forms over the thrown card and remains until dispelled. No, it's not limited use. It's just a random draw.
But if I use a card, is that card used up forever, or is it just nope? Okay, how much is that?
The deck is 400 gold.
And how much are the defense bracers?
1,000.
1,000.
The defense bracers are interesting in that they can provide an armor bonus for someone who doesn't typically wear armor.
And how much is the bonus?
I believe it might be +2. Let me check.
Okay.
Bracers of defense. D&D Beyond, what are you doing? Yeah, it is a +2 bonus to AC if you're wearing no armor and using no shield.
Say again? I didn't hear you.
Yeah, +2 to armor if you're not wearing armor.
Alright, then Gerald's gonna get the bracers.
Alright, that'll be 1,000 gold.
Gerald forks over 100 platinum.
Yep. And you now have the bracers. Let me add those for you. And that'll be very useful for you. Manage equipment. Add. Alright, refresh and they should be there. And you'll have to just click the button to equip them.
It's equipment.
Alright.
Hey.
Did anyone have anything else they wanted to purchase?
Nope.
Nothing terribly interesting.
Alright. We should be getting a new shipment in by the end of the week.
If I equip them and my armor class didn't go up. Oh, do I have to attune them? There we go.
Yes,
it has to be attuned.
Yeah, you'll have to spend basically an hour with them to attune them, but yeah, once you do that, it'll work.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you can only have 3 attuned items?
Yeah, that's so you basically can't deck yourself out and buff items.
Okay.
Okay. But anyway, I guess it's getting late now. Where are you guys going?
To find Cass's friend. To find my book.
Gerald is looking for sweetbread.
Go to a bakery, I guess.
Shama perks at the bakery.
All right. If you want to go get a late snack of bread, I'll let you do that. I mean, is that something you're doing?
Gerald's doing it.
Shama will agree.
All right.
How much bread?
Gerald needs 2 loaves
Right,
for himself.
I'll just put that out of silver.
Okay.
But and you can find bread
Shama wants a muffin.
and a muffin. But yeah, you don't know if the drow will have made it back to town yet. They didn't have a horse, or she didn't have a horse when you saw her.
I mean, we had time to go to the wizard tower and, wander town anyway, so...
I could go in and ask for her.
Between 5 of us.
Shama is just currently in bliss with her muffin.
Gerald is munching on 2 loaves of bread, going back and forth between each one per bite.
Alright.
Y'all are nerds.
Sava, you know why I like sweet bread? It reminds me of my brother. He's a jerk.
Really?
I didn't catch any of that. You broke up.
Ollie?
You weren't supposed to really hear it anyway, because he's talking with food in his mouth.
He said something about his brother being a jerk. That's all I heard.
So, are you gonna check to see if Anna has?
Yeah, and if we're gonna head back to the thing, I might as well just stop into the neighboring inn.
All right.
Right there.
And this inn is like a lot more upscale looking. It's has a much more relaxed atmosphere.
Before I go in,
yeah.
No, finish your description first.
Okay, yeah. There's like nice. It's not like a rough and tumble wooden stuff. There's finery. There's some nice coloration going on, and also the person at the bar looks remarkably
alive.
The person at the bar looks remarkably similar to the person from the other inn. Actually, the woman San. This one actually looks like her, but male.
Oh, maybe twins.
Gender bend.
Oh my god.
So what do you do?
Gerald investigates for soap.
Oh my god.
I was under the impression that Cass was going alone.
Before I go in,
Yeah.
Ivy, you said you offered to come in with me, right? Just in case?
Yeah.
It's probably a smart idea considering the kind of person Zay was. If she was trained by this woman, I don't know what to expect.
I just
To make-
don't trust strangers too easily. So.
To make sure I get my
Fine.
book.
Yeah,
To make sure I get my book, I send to Mora.
Okay.
So I'll have 2 snakes in my bag. Alright.
Yes. So I'm gonna cast Wild Shape, and I'm going to transform into a snake.
All right.
Gerald investigates for soap.
Go investigate for soap in the other tavern. You guys need to stay out here or she might flip.
Gerald's out on the street looking for soap.
Okay,
all
good.
right, That's
Hey, I
that's
love
just
being on
happening.
babysitting duty.
Zergo's just up against the wall with his arms crossed, just.
I'm so sorry, Zergo.
Anyway.
Both of these children.
Yeah. So you go inside with your 2 snakes. And
In my bag.
Is that a snake in your bag, or are you just happy to see me?
Actually, no.
no.
I don't think I have a bag. You might have to hide, like, in my hood. I have a hood. Yeah, hide in my hood.
Okay.
All right, they're hiding.
The
under
peanut
it.
brittle.
Yeah.
Snake, what happened? Talk to me. Answer me.
So you go up to the. I assume you go up to the bar.
Yeah, I'm gonna go up to the bartender and ask if Anna's staying for the night.
He will tell you that she did check in, but she has essentially gone to bed for the night.
Can we go up to visit her anyway? Us.
I mean,
Shavo will cause a ruckus.
Please, for the love of God, I don't want to die to these assholes. Just 'cause they're pissed
And doesn't know what's
About a book.
Well, if she comes back out and tells me that, I'm going to cause a ruckus.
he says that you can go up if you want, but just be polite and don't make any don't make too much noise.
We won't.
Yeah, the master plan inn has a reputation.
We won't.
And he will introduce you himself as Sen.
Oh, that's gonna give me a headache. But
and-
okay.
Oh wait, actually no, I'm mistaken. She was Sen, he's San.
Vowel difference. Awesome.
Yeah, and yes, if you ask, he will explain that they are twins.
Thought so. Why aren't you running it in together?
We have and he sort of scratches his chin and says, "We have different tastes."
I see. I'll just head up then.
All right. And you knock on the door that was provided to you. A moment later, it opens and there's Anna. She says, "Oh, you've made it back."
Yeah, a little faster than I guess. Normal? We had a horse. Don't ask its name.
She says, I was just getting to bed, but if you'd like to borrow the book for the night, I'd like to take care of this as quickly as possible."
Understood. I will try to get it back to you as soon as possible.
And she says, "Thank you," and she'll retrieve the book and hand it to you.
What?
She'll hand you the book and say, and she says, "I will need it back. I will need it back. I was told to retrieve it."
I understand. You will get it back. I'll make sure, but...
Thank you. And she will let you go as you please.
Okay. Awkward. Alright, I'm gonna go back out. Before I let it go, I'll be like, I swear to God, if you keep the goddamn thing,
I don't
I don't want
wanna
to face the Fury for this.
I won't keep it. I just want to read it.
Read it. Maybe you should, I don't know, write it down? Make a copy?
I assume Shava just like blinks at that, like
So you don't have to remember it for fucking ever.
like does not compute.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't laughing at that. I was laughing at what you said.
Oh. Okay.
Oh.
I mean, he wasn't wrong.
All right.
Anyway, yes. I can make a book. I can copy it. Well, it depends on what it has in it, for one.
I will say that copying it will take you a lot longer than reading it.
I figured as much.
Well, you don't have to copy it now. You said you had the ability to remember things.
Oh yeah, I remember things perfectly for a month. Yeah.
Yeah, that would work.
Alright, so yeah, read it now, copy it over the next month.
Sounds like a plan. Long rest!
Alright, you guys retire to your beds, and you settle in for the night. And your sleep is mostly undisturbed, save for the noise coming from downstairs as usual. It gets quieter than usual this time, so that's a mercy. But you guys can all click the long rest button.
Shava couldn't hear the people downstairs over Gerald snoring.
Right. And Shava, you can also take a couple hours and mark off 50 gold if you want to copy down the spell.
Ah, yes.
And
Can you add that spell?
Yeah, I'll do that. And as you all wake up in the morning, you can smell the distinct smell outside of acrid smoke.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Shava immediately sits up and says, I didn't do it.
Bacon!
And
That'd be a first.
and I'm gonna call it there for the night.
Oh, what?
Oh.
Because we're just about that would get us into a lot.
Early.
Into a lot.
Yeah, the sort of on the verge of.
We could stop in the middle of a lot.
I also don't have as much prepared as I would like.
Shit.
Okay.
And there is something I want to talk to everyone about.
Okay.
I already mentioned it to Ethan. Actually, let me stop recording.